Hello students, I hope you are doing well. Today we will start a new part from the chapter genetics, that is Mendel's experiment and his laws. Okay. So between in the year of 1856 to 1863, Mendel was conducting several hybridization reaction, or you can say hybridization experiments, using the garden pea plants. Okay, garden pea plants. This pea plants has a scientific name, that is Pisum sativum. Okay, you have to underline the scientific name. So during that period, he chose some distinct characteristics of the pea plants and conducted several cross pollination or artificial pollination on the pea plants that showed stable trait of inheritance. Okay, and such pea plants are called as true breeding pea plants. So what is the term? True breeding pea plants. So now what do you mean by this true breeding pea plants? Okay, so this true breeding pea plants means the plants that have undergone continuous self-pollination and showed stable trait inheritance and express over several generations. Or you can say easily, true breeding plants means when they fertilize, they only produce offsprings with the same characteristics or traits. Okay. So now question is arise that why this pea plant is selected for the Mendel's experiment. Okay. So he was selecting the pea plant for his experiment because of some reasons. Okay. So the first point is the pea plant can be grown easily and can be easily maintained. So easily grown and maintained. The next point is they are naturally self-pollinating but can also be cross-pollinated. So self-pollinating or can be crossed pollinated. So what do you mean by self-pollinating and cross-pollinated? Okay. So the self-pollinating means the pollination of flower by pollen from the same flower or from the another flower on the same plant. Okay. And cross-pollinated means transfer of pollen from male reproductive organ of the one plant to the female reproductive organ of the another plant. Many insects like beetles and then butterflies and sometimes bees are mainly agent of the cross pollination. Okay. So the third point is it is an annual plant. Therefore, many generations can be studied within a short period of time, because annual plant means it completes its life cycle from germination to the production of seeds within one growing season. Okay. So fourth point is it has several contrasting characteristics. Okay. So Mendel selected 14 true breeding pea plant varieties as pair, which were similar except one character with contrasting traits. Okay. There was 7 characteristics. Okay. So the characteristics were, sorry. So first one is seed shape. Okay. The second one is seed color. The third one is pod shape. The fourth one is pod color. The fifth one is flower color. The sixth one is flower location. And the seventh one is plant size. Okay. So, what was the two types of seed shape? The first one is round and second one is wrinkled. Then seed color. One was yellow, second was green. What is the pod shape? Inflated and second one is constricted. Pod color was green and yellow. Flower color was purple and white. Flower location is axial and second one is terminal. Axial and terminal position, flower position. And plant size was tall and short height. Okay. So, those are the 7 characteristics he was choosing for his experiments. Okay. So, Mendel conducted 2 experiments to determine the laws of inheritance, and these experiments are: first one is monohybrid cross and second one is dihybrid cross. Okay. And while experimenting, the Mendel found that certain factors were always being transferred down to the offspring in a stable way, and those factors are now called genes. So, gene can be called as the units of inheritance. Okay. Now, the monohybrid cross. Okay. So, in this experiment, the Mendel took 2 pea plants of the opposite traits, one is short and one is tall, okay, and crossed them. He found that the first generation offsprings were tall and called the F1 progeny, okay, and then he crossed the F1 progeny and obtained both tall and short plants in the ratio of 3:1. To know more about this experiment, let's do the Punnett square, okay. So, here capital means tall plants and small t means the short plants. So, first we are doing the F1 generation cross. Okay. So, we are written here capital T and small t. We are crossing this. Okay. We are taking pure characteristic, pure tall and pure short. Okay. So, what will be the offsprings? TT, TT, TT and TT. Here, capital T means it is a dominant allele and it always expresses itself over the recessive one or the short t. So, all offspring will be of tall height. So, now we are crossing for F2 generation plants. Okay. So, whenever there is F2 generation cross, the cross will be between the offsprings. Okay. So, capital T, small t, capital T and small t. So, what will be the offsprings? Capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t and small t, small t. So, the ratio of tall is to short height plant is 3:1. Clear? So now Mendel's law of inheritance are actually based on the observation of this monohybrid cross, and he proposed the two laws, the principle of dominance and the laws of segregation. So we have to write this. Mendel's laws of inheritance are based on his observations on monohybrid cross. Okay. And he was proposed two laws. First one is principle of dominance, and the second one is law of segregation. Okay. So in the principle of dominance, he stated that when two alternative forms of a character or trait, means the two alternative form of a gene, are present in an organism, only one character expresses itself in the F1 progeny and is called dominant, while the other remains masked and is called recessive. Okay, so we have to write down this. The principle of dominance states that when alternative forms of a trait or character, you can say, means the genes are present in an organism, only one factor will express itself in the F1 progeny and is called dominant, and other one is called recessive. Okay, or which is mask, you can say it is recessive. Okay, see here, from the F1 generation cross, only one character of allele is expressed, and which one is expressed? Which one? That is dominant over the recessive one. So only the tall characteristics are expressed. Okay, clear? Now laws of segregation. Okay, in the laws of segregation, he states that two alleles coding for the same traits separate during gamete formation. Okay, so what is the sentence? Two alleles coding for the same trait, like two alleles coding for the height. Okay, for the height gene. Okay, so two alleles, one is for tall characteristic, one is for short characteristics, and the same traits are separate. They are separated during the gamete formation. Okay, and they do not show any blending, and both characters are recovered, such as we have seen in the case of F2 generation, though one of these are not seen in the F1 generation, because the characteristics are masked by the dominant alleles whenever they are present in their pure form, like homozygous recessive, then they are only expressed. So both characteristics are present, but one is masked because of the dominant characteristics. Okay, so this is the two laws. First one is the principle of dominance and second one is laws of segregation. Okay, Now the dihybrid cross, okay. So in a dihybrid cross experiment, the Mendel considered two traits, okay, and each having two alleles. He considered wrinkled green seed and round yellow seeds, okay, and observed that all first generation progeny or F1 progenies were round yellow, and this means that the dominant states were round shape and yellow color. So we are taking capital Y, capital R as yellow color and round shape. Okay, both are dominant. Y means dominant, capital Y, and capital R means also dominant, and small y means recessive and small r means also recessive characteristics. Okay, capital Y means yellow color, capital R means round shape, small y means green color, and small r means wrinkled. Okay, so now we are crossing the capital Y, capital R with the recessive one, small y, small r, that is green in color and wrinkled seed. Okay, so whenever we are crossing this, we are getting gametes one from the each trait. So we are taking capital Y from this, small y from this for the color, and capital R from this and small r from this for the shape. So this is our final gamete after the F1 progeny. Okay, so what is its phenotypic characteristics? Its phenotypic characteristics is yellow and round, because yellow and round is dominant type of characteristics, and they will express themselves whenever the recessive ones are present. They always mask the phenotypic characteristics for the recessive ones. Okay, so now he actually then self-pollinated the F1 progeny and obtained 4 different traits. Okay, so let's do the Punnett square for this. So what can be the gamete compositions? The gamete compositions can be capital Y, capital R, small y, capital R, the small y, small r, and the capital Y, small r. Okay, and here will be also the same gametes, capital Y, capital R, small y, capital R, small y, small r, and capital Y, small r. Okay, so we have to do the Punnett square for this. See what will be the compositions? Capital Y, capital R. Next capital Y, small r, capital R. Then capital Y, small r, capital R, small r, and last capital Y, capital R, small r. Okay, next capital Y, small y, capital R, then small y, capital R, then small y, capital R, small r, then small y, capital R, capital Y, small r. Next capital Y, small y, capital R, small r, small y, capital R, small r, then small y, small r, then capital Y, small r, small r, and the last one is capital Y, capital R, small r, then capital Y, small y, capital R, small r, then capital Y, small r, small r, and capital Y, small r. Now we have to find out what are the 4 different traits we are obtaining. Okay, so now for this gamete the phenotypic characteristics will be yellow and round, because capital Y and capital R is present, both are dominant. Here is also yellow and round, yellow and round, and yellow and round, because for these four gametes, both alleles for the dominant yellow character and dominant round character is present in one copy. Okay, so this all will be yellow and round in shape. Okay, for the next series, it is capital Y capital R is present, so it should be yellow and round. Here you can see both recessive characteristics for the green color is present. So these recessive characteristics are present in homozygous pure form. So it will express its effect. So it should be green in color and round in shape, because capital R is present. Here is also green in color and round in shape. Here capital Y is present and capital R is present. So it should be yellow and round. Next, yellow and round. Here green and round. Here you can see both characteristics are present in the recessive form, double small y and double small r. So it should be green in color and wrinkled in the shape. Okay, because both alleles are present in homozygous pure form and both will express their effect. Okay, so the phenotypic characteristics for this gamete will be green and wrinkled. Next, capital Y present and small r present in the both cases. So it should be yellow and wrinkled. Okay. Next one, yellow and round. Here, yellow and round. Here, capital Y present, small r's are present. So it should be yellow and wrinkled. And it is also yellow and wrinkled in the shape. Okay. So let's find out the ratio for these different traits. Okay, so for yellow and round, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So if to generation, okay, phenotypes ratio will be, first is 9:2, it is for yellow and round. Then for green and round, 1 2 and 3. So 9:3, 3 for green and round. Next, yellow and wrinkled, 1 2 3 is to 3 for yellow and wrinkled is to 1 for green and wrinkled. Okay, so it is the phenotypic ratio for the F2 generation. Clear? After conducting for the other traits, the results were found to be similar. Okay, and from this experiment, Mendel actually formulated his second law of inheritance, that is named as law of independent assortment. What? Law of independent assortment. Okay, that is the second law of the Mendel, law of independent assortment. So what it states in this law? This law states when two pairs of the traits are combined in a hybrid, the segregation of one pair of characteristics is independent of the other pair of characteristics at the same time of the gamete formation. Okay, so we have to write this. This law states that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair is independent of the other pair of character at the time of gamete formation. Okay, so this is the second law. Okay, I am repeating. Okay, this law states that when two pairs of the traits are combined in a hybrid, the segregation of one pair is independent of the other pair of characters at the time of the gamete formation. Okay, so see, whenever the gametes are combining, they are combining in the independent manner. Sometimes the dominant characteristics are expressed, sometimes our recessive characteristics are present, okay, or expressed, okay, but they are assorted in the independent manner, okay. That is the chart for the independent assortment. Here you can see that it also gets randomly rearranged. The gametes are randomly rearranged in the offsprings and producing both parental and new combination also, because yellow and round are the parental characteristics, but green round or yellow wrinkles are not the parental characteristics. They are new combinations of the characters. So they are randomly arranged and they are independent of each other. Okay. So this law was proposed by Mendel based on the results of this dihybrid course, where inheritance of two traits were considered simultaneously. Okay. From these two laws, Mendel also getting the concept of allele. So an allele is an alternative form of gene, one member of this pairs, and that is located at a specific position on a specific chromosome. Okay. So and he also deduced the concepts of the dominant and recessive alleles. We have already discussed what is dominant allele, what is recessive allele. So that's it for today. And if you have any queries or any question, feel free to ask me. Okay. Thank you for your attention.